In a world that rarely slows down, where our minds are constantly buzzing with notifications, tasks, and worries, true rest has become a rare luxury. We lie down at night hoping for sleep, but so often we remain restless, tossing and turning, our thoughts racing, our bodies tense. What if the key to genuine healing rest wasn't in a new mattress or the latest sleep app, but in ancient wisdom? Buddhist teachings, grounded in centuries of mindfulness and spiritual discipline, offer a gentle yet profound path to stillness. They don't just help us sleep, they teach us how to rest in body, mind, and spirit. In this video, 6 Buddhist Bedtime Habits for True Rest, we will explore powerful but simple habits that draw directly from Buddhist principles. Habits that can transform not just how you sleep, but how you live. These are not just techniques for relaxation. They are spiritual practices that align your heart and mind with peace, compassion, and awareness. Each one is like a whisper of Zen, subtle, calming, and deeply transformative. You'll discover how mindful reflection, gratitude, breathing techniques, and even the art of letting go can become part of a nightly ritual that leads to a deeper, more nourishing rest. You'll also learn how the Buddhist approach to rest is about more than closing your eyes. It's about creating space for serenity in your soul. Whether you're struggling with insomnia or just looking to create a more meaningful evening routine, these 6 habits can become the anchor at the end of your day. So settle in, take a deep breath, and prepare to reimagine bedtime not just as a routine, but as a sacred practice. 1. Evening. Mindfulness reflection. One of the most grounding Buddhist bedtime habits is the practice of evening mindfulness reflection. In Buddhism, mindfulness, or sati in Pali, is the heart of living consciously. And the best time to reconnect with awareness is at the end of your day, when you can finally turn inward and gently review the moments you lived through. Before you close your eyes, take 5 to 10 minutes to sit or lie quietly, allowing yourself to breathe deeply and settle into the present moment. As your body begins to relax, let your mind softly retrace the events of the day. But here's the key. Do it without judgment. You're not reviewing your day to criticize or fix anything. You're simply becoming aware, observing how you acted, what you felt, and what thoughts lingered. In Buddhist monasteries, this kind of reflection is often part of a Thangasala practice, a nightly review of one's ethical conduct. You don't need to be a monk to do this. You might ask yourself, did I speak with kindness today? Was I mindful of my actions and their impact? Where did I feel peace? Where did I feel tension? Did I let ego or impatience take over in certain moments? Approaching these questions with curiosity and compassion creates a powerful shift. Instead of going to bed carrying guilt or overthinking, you begin to gently acknowledge your experiences. This kind of honest self-reflection fosters growth, acceptance, and emotional cleansing. It also strengthens your inner observer, the calm, wise presence within you that sees life clearly. Over time, this nightly habit can help dissolve the mental chatter that keeps you awake. It allows you to complete your day with dignity and self-awareness, so you don't carry unresolved energy into your dreams. Think of it like tidying your inner space. Just as you might straighten up your room before bed, this practice helps clear emotional and mental clutter. And the beauty is, it doesn't require fancy tools or a strict schedule, just your willingness to pause and look within. Evening reflection also deepens gratitude, because as you look back, you'll start to notice the small joys you might have missed in the moment. A smile from a stranger, a breeze on your face, a kind word you offered. These reflections naturally reorient the mind toward appreciation and peace. Incorporating this into your nightly routine is simple. Set a soft timer if needed, or keep a small journal by your bed to jot down what arises. Some nights might be emotional, others blissfully quiet. But with consistency, this habit becomes a sacred dialogue with your true self. This is how Buddhism teaches us to end the day, not with distraction or avoidance, but with presence and clarity. It's a gentle reminder. Even if the day wasn't perfect, your awareness is enough. And in that awareness, true rest begins. 2. Letting go of the day. One of the most liberating teachings in Buddhism is the art of letting go, of attachments, expectations, regrets, and even our thoughts. At bedtime, this principle becomes especially powerful. While your body may be ready for rest, the mind often clings to the events of the day, replaying conversations, rehashing mistakes, or worrying about tomorrow. This restless cycle is one of the main reasons we struggle to sleep. Buddhist philosophy invites us to practice non-attachment, not by ignoring or denying our experiences, but by loosening our grip on them. At night, this becomes a sacred act of release. When you consciously let go, you make space for rest to enter. Here's how to bring this practice into your bedtime routine. After your mindfulness reflection, or even if you're not doing that yet, take a few minutes to visualize placing the events of your day into an imaginary container, a jar, a box, or even a lotus flower. One by one, place the emotions, worries, conversations, and plans into this container. Don't push them away or judge them. Just acknowledge them and gently set them aside. You might say silently, "This is for tomorrow. Right now, I rest." In Buddhist meditation, this act is known as letting thoughts pass like clouds. You don't cling to them or push them away. You just observe and release. The more you practice this, the lighter your mind becomes. This habit also helps with deeper emotional healing. Often we go to bed still carrying resentment, guilt, or anxiety. Letting go doesn't mean pretending these things don't exist. It means choosing not to bring them into your sacred space of rest. It's an act of compassion for yourself. You can also combine this practice with breath work. With each exhale, imagine releasing tension or a specific worry. Let your breath be the rhythm of release. The Buddha once said, "You only lose what you cling to." At night, let that be your mantra. You're not discarding your life, you're simply laying it down so your soul can breathe. Letting go is not an escape, it's a return. A return to the stillness that lives beneath all the noise. And from that stillness, deep rest can rise. Third, gratitude before sleep. Gratitude is a quiet yet powerful force in Buddhist practice. It shifts the heart from craving to contentment, from restlessness to peace. At the end of a long day, when your mind may be focused on what went wrong or what still needs to be done, gratitude becomes a bridge to rest. It pulls you back into the present and reminds you of the simple blessings that already exist in your life. In Buddhism, gratitude is more than saying thank you. It's an attitude of reverence for life. Every breath, every interaction, every moment is seen as a gift, even the difficult ones, because they offer an opportunity to awaken and grow. When you bring this mindset into your bedtime routine, you invite your heart to soften and open, creating the ideal conditions for restful sleep. One beautiful practice is to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for from the day. These don't have to be big events. They can be as simple as a warm cup of tea, a moment of laughter, or the comfort of your bed. The key is to feel the gratitude in your body as you think about each one. Let the warmth of appreciation fill you, like a gentle light spreading through your chest. You can do this silently in your mind, speak it out loud, or even write it in a small journal you keep by your bedside. Over time, this nightly habit begins to reshape your mental landscape. Your mind learns to look for the good, even on challenging days, and your heart becomes more resilient and open. From a Buddhist perspective, gratitude is also closely tied to the right view, seeing life as it truly is, with humility and wonder. It keeps us connected to the present moment, where real peace lives. As you end your day with gratitude, you create an emotional cushion that softens anxiety and stress. You rest not in what you lack, but in the abundance already around you. And when you fall asleep with a thankful heart, you often wake up with a lighter spirit. Gratitude becomes not just a feeling, but a way of being, a sacred pause, a whisper of peace. 4. Calming the breath. Among the most fundamental practices in Buddhism is the awareness of breath. Known as anapanasati, or mindfulness of breathing, this simple yet profound habit is a gateway to peace. It connects the body and mind, grounds you in the present, and when practiced before sleep, can guide you into deep, restorative rest. Many people go to bed with shallow, anxious breathing, often without realizing it. This kind of breathing keeps the body in a state of subtle tension, preventing full relaxation. Buddhist teachings encourage us to return to the breath as an anchor. It is always there, always available, and completely free. The breath doesn't need to be changed or controlled. It simply needs to be noticed. Before sleep, take 5 to 10 minutes to lie on your back or sit comfortably. Gently close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Feel the air moving in through your nose, expanding your lungs and flowing back out. Notice the rhythm without forcing it. The breath might be fast or slow, deep or shallow. Just observe. As you settle into this awareness, begin to slow the breath naturally. Inhale gently for a count of 4. Pause for a moment, and exhale slowly for a count of 6. Longer exhales help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural relaxation response. This breathing technique not only calms the physical body, but also quiets the mental chatter. Thoughts may arise, and that's okay. When they do, gently return your focus to the breath, like a monk ringing a meditation bell to bring attention back to center. The Buddha often spoke of the breath as a tool for insight and liberation. When used with awareness, it becomes more than a physical function. It becomes a spiritual practice. With each inhale, you receive the present moment. With each exhale, you release what you no longer need. Practicing calming breath before sleep helps signal to your body that it's safe to rest. It tells your nervous system, you can let go now. And over time, this becomes a powerful ritual, a gentle descent from the noise of the day into the silence of rest. Just you and your breath. Nothing more is needed. 5. Releasing the self. One of the most profound insights in Buddhism is the understanding of anatta, or non-self. This concept teaches that the self, as we often perceive it, is not a fixed, permanent entity. Instead, what we call me is a constantly changing collection of thoughts, emotions, experiences, and physical sensations. Letting go of attachment to this self brings deep inner peace, and bedtime is the perfect opportunity to practice this. Throughout the day, we carry many roles: parent, worker, friend, creator, problem solver. These identities are useful, but they also become heavy. By the time night falls, our minds are still clinging to the idea of who we are, what we must do, and how we're perceived. These clinging feed tension and stress, keeping us locked in cycles of overthinking and self-judgment. Buddhism offers a liberating alternative. Release the self before sleep. How do you do this? Start by simply noticing the identity you're still carrying as you lie in bed. Are you replaying a mistake you made at work? Worrying about being a good parent? Thinking about what others think of you? Recognize the thought and gently whisper to yourself, "That's not me." That's a passing thought. You can deepen this with a guided meditation or affirmation that dissolves attachment to self. For example, I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness behind them. I release who I think I should be. I rest in what is. There is no need to be anyone right now. Just rest. This habit doesn't mean abandoning responsibility or denying your identity. It means giving yourself permission to rest beyond identity, to step out of all the doing and simply be. Just for tonight, you don't need to prove anything, fix anything, or be anything. You're free. Advanced Buddhist monks often meditate on this concept for years, understanding that true peace arises when the self loosens. For the everyday practitioner, even a small touch of this insight can create powerful change. You begin to sleep not as the stressed-out version of yourself, but as awareness itself, spacious, free, and at peace. You might also visualize your identity dissolving like mist. See the labels, your job title, your responsibilities, your worries, floating away like leaves on a stream. Nothing is lost. Everything just returns to its natural state. By releasing the self at night, you allow your body and spirit to fully surrender. You fall asleep as the sky, not the cloud. And in that spaciousness, the deepest rest becomes possible. 6. Embracing silence and simplicity. In the hustle of modern life, silence has become almost uncomfortable. We're constantly surrounded by noise. external and internal. From the hum of technology to the inner dialogue of worries and plans, we rarely allow ourselves to experience the profound stillness that Buddhism teaches is essential for inner peace. At bedtime, this noise often follows us, making it hard to wind down and truly rest. That's why the sixth Buddhist bedtime habit is to embrace silence and simplicity. Buddhism teaches that the path to awakening lies not in adding more, but in letting go of complexity, distraction, and unnecessary mental clutter. Silence isn't emptiness, it's space. It's the sacred pause where awareness flourishes and the spirit breathes. By creating a space of stillness before sleep, you prepare the mind to settle and the heart to open. Start with your environment. Turn off unnecessary lights. Put your phone away at least 30 minutes before bed. If possible, dim the room and light a candle or incense to signal that the day is ending. Create a ritual of simplicity, maybe sipping warm tea, reading a line from a Buddhist text, or sitting in silent reflection. The point is not to fill your time, but to let it be spacious and uncluttered. Then turn inward. Allow yourself a few minutes of complete silence. No music, no podcasts, no screens. Just you, sitting or lying quietly, breathing gently. At first, your mind may resist. It might feel bored, fidgety, or even anxious. This is normal. But as you stay with the silence, something magical happens. The inner noise begins to settle. Like muddy water becoming clear, your thoughts quiet, and your being begins to rest naturally. This stillness is deeply healing. In Zen, silence is revered as a teacher. It reveals truth without words. It shows us what we've been avoiding and gently reminds us that we don't need to control everything. In silence, we meet ourselves. Not the performing self, but the true self beneath all the layers. You might also practice noble silence, a monastic tradition where speaking ceases after a certain hour. Even if you live with others, you can adopt a soft version of this. No unnecessary talking after a certain time, using the last part of the evening as a sacred window for presence and peace. By embracing silence and simplicity, your bedtime becomes a doorway, not just to sleep, but to the vast inner world that's always been there, calm, open, and awake. This is not just restful sleep. It's spiritual rest. Let the last moments of your day be filled not with noise, but with quiet grace. Because in that silence, you're not alone. You are deeply connected to the present, to yourself, and to the wisdom that lives within. True rest is more than sleep. It is a spiritual surrender, a return to presence, and a gentle release from the weight we carry. The 6 Buddhist bedtime habits you've just explored, mindfulness reflection, letting go, gratitude, calming the breath, releasing the self, and embracing silence, are not merely techniques. They are invitations to come home to yourself each night. In Buddhism, every action can be a form of practice. And what better moment to practice than at the close of your day, when your heart is tender and your mind is seeking stillness? By weaving these habits into your evenings, you create a sacred ritual that honors both your physical need for rest and your spiritual yearning for peace. These practices don't require perfection. They simply require presence. Even 5 minutes of reflection, one deep breath, or a single moment of gratitude can shift your energy and guide you into a more peaceful sleep. Over time, these small choices become a way of life, a gentle rhythm of awareness, compassion, and surrender. And as you learn to rest well, you also begin to live well. You wake up more centered. You walk through your day with more intention. And you begin to touch the deeper stillness that Buddhism points us toward. Not in temples far away, but in the quiet moments before sleep, when your soul whispers, "All is well." Let your bedtime become a sanctuary. Let your rest become your practice. And let peace find you, night after night. If this video brought you a moment of calm or clarity, consider subscribing to our channel. New teachings and reflections are shared regularly to help you walk the path of peace. One breath, one night, one day at a time.